Three, two, one. And we're live on Facebook. So hello there, Facebook friends.
Hello.
It's Jürgen Strauss and Joanne Clark here with the next episode of Facebook 9 Lives. I think we're up to about 6 or 7 now, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And we have been talking about the 5 success principles. The 5 success principles of NLP, but related to how, that supports your business and bringing in plenty of examples of real life from planning and implementation. So you and Andrea spoke yesterday about the behavioral flexibility.
Yep.
And had a lovely example there of Andrea dealing with her leaking bathroom and having to move out to get all that fixed up and repaired.
Yes, and how it's been, an ongoing saga for a number of years, but, just bringing in her behavioural flexibility has made it a lot better quality in terms of life through that journey than it would have been otherwise. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. So I kind of remove some of the stress. I think I was reading something the other day about how things come back to putting stress on you, and that certainly helps avoid some stress because you kind of say, I'll deal with what I can deal with and I'll adapt and make things work.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, being really clear about the outcome you're going for. So, not compromising on that has probably helped motivate and drive the behavioural flexibility through the process. So, being really clear on the outcome is pretty important at times when it feels like everything's taking too long.
Exactly, yes. And which is the first of the 5 success principles, with beginning with the end in mind, and then, of course, keeping the end in mind all the time. So keeping the end in mind all the time is a little bit about the psychology and physiology of excellence, isn't it? Which is what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah. Yeah. And as someone like you, Jürgen, you do a lot of cycling. And so certainly when you set out on your cycling journeys, and I know when I do the Great Vic Bike Ride each year, each morning we get up and start out with the end in mind. So where are we riding to? And regardless of what gets thrown our way in the journey, whether it's a beautiful sunny day like it is today down on the Bellarine Peninsula, or whether it is a rainy, haily day, as I've encountered on riding a week ago even, really just getting out and keeping the end in mind and getting on the push bike and pedaling until you get to the end is really the focus of having a physiology and psychology of excellence. It is keeping that end in mind that really does, keep you in that state, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I had a similar ride to you, I think, a few weeks beforehand, where it was freezing cold, it was raining and wet. And of course, it didn't start raining until I was about half an hour into the ride. I was planning to do 100 kilometres for a fundraising for a charity that does cancer research. It's a great charity. So I was really keen to do that and to do the fundraising, and about an hour into the ride I was wet and cold and feeling a little miserable, which is where the behavioural flexibility came in. I did have the choice to kind of turn left at one point and shortcut, and I thought, well, no, I'm already wet and I'm already cold, so if I keep pedalling hard and just get through it, I'm not going to get any wetter or any colder.
Yes, well, when you soak to the skin, it's done.
That's right. Yes, that's right. So, there's some of that psychology and physiology of excellence there, because basically you're saying, well, this is what I set out to achieve. That goal hasn't changed, and so I'm just going to do what I need to do and achieve the goal.
Push through. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, like for us in business and for lots of small business owners, it is a matter of being very clear about the end in mind helps you be able to push through at those times when things seem like they're taking a long time or getting a bit tough. Yeah. So being really able to keep that focus and bringing with that the physiology and psychology of excellence. So I suppose today, just to touch on what exactly does that mean in a business context? So I don't know, Jürgen, for you, but for me, part of the physiology and psychology of excellence does mean things like, making sure that my days are planned in advance so that I know that in the week, all the things that need to be done have got a time and a location in my week so that I can not worry about them or think about them until it's the appropriate time when I can actually take action on them, rather than carrying everything in your head and then feeling like you've got this never-ending constant burden of the to-do list, the really long to-do list, which we talked about it in a couple of earlier sessions. So, the psychology of excellence for me is really about blocking out times in the calendar and saying, right, my purpose for this day is to focus on this. My purpose for the next day is to focus, so that you're very clear at an unconscious level that things are being taken care of, and they're being taken care of in a strategic way, not just in a reactive way. Yeah?
That's right, yeah. And I do the same type of thing, and I split it down into what's the most important thing today to move the needle. So I kind of look overview of the week. So I get my team together and we have a talk about what are the things that need to happen this week, and we review that every couple of days. But then I split that down into what's the most important thing I need to do today to move the needle forward in terms of a strategic, business perspective, or it might be a customer project. It might be something to do with my own planning in the business. And then I look at, okay, once I've done that, are there 3 other things that will do that as well? And they might be smaller things. And then I look at another 5, which is the 3rd level. So normally I get to 2 of the 3. If I'm doing really well, like yesterday, I actually got the one big thing done, and I got 2 of the 3 next level done, and I got a few of the little things done because they sort of kind of fit in between. But the point of that is, at the end of the day, rather than beating yourself up and saying, well, I didn't get 2 or 3 of the 9 things that I've got on my list for today done, I can say, hey, I got the number 1 thing that really moved the needle. I got that done, and I got 2 of the other 3 that moved the needle a little bit done. So I actually feel really good about myself, even though I haven't completed my entire list.
Yes. Yeah. So because you're on track. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And with that, part of obviously bringing a psychology of excellence, which is, I think, fundamentally about making sure you've got a plan that so your mindset is in the right place. Yeah. Then there's the physiology of excellence that you need to bring as well. And that means being ready to go on, so be ready to turn up and switch on and be present like we're doing today. This is a little 10-minute gap in the day, and we're filling it with something that hopefully will add value to other people. But also bringing the physiology of excellence is about making sure you're looking after yourself physiologically. So you're making sure you get enough sleep and you're eating properly, you're staying hydrated. If you're out presenting, you make sure you're doing that in a way that's sustainable. I deliver some 7-day training, so I need to be in an environment where things are handled for me, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to be on my feet for 7 days straight delivering that training, serving the room. Yeah. So that physiology of excellence is another big part, as it is in the cycling. You've got to have that physiology of excellence for that too. Yeah. So, it goes across all areas of our life. It's not just business. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Yes. And you mentioned cycling, I know people that listen to our podcasts do marathons, they run, they do other sports. So it's the same across all those sports. And yesterday morning, I got up early to go out for my ride, and we'd had a pretty intense Easter weekend. Had my dad down, and so we got up to a lot of things, and I felt really tired yesterday morning, and I thought, no, I think the best thing here, the physiology thing here, is to get a little bit of extra sleep. So I went back to bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Which served me well at the time. So you're right. You've got to look after yourself. If you can't turn up and you can't bring 110% energy into your business because you're not well or tired or you run down, or, the psychology part of it, if you're feeling down in the dumps or you're demotivated because you've had a setback of some sort, then that doesn't work either.
No, exactly right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm really excited because we're going to be dealing with all these 5 success principles, as well as how do we structure a plan to actually build the fundamental or the foundations of success, which we can then, layer these 5 success principles on as behaviors and as strategies that we then, or as tactics that we implement. And it's only about 6 weeks to our Thailand getaway event.
I know, and Peter reminded me this morning. I keep saying it's in winter, but it's actually autumn, not winter.
It is autumn. It is
but
autumn.
It's still cold. It's still cold.
Yeah, it's getting cold here. So, yes.
So getting over to Thailand is, something I'm really excited about. And as you said, it's not far away now. It means that we will give ourselves the time and the space to get really, really clear on the outcomes we're going for in our businesses over the next 12 to 18 months, and lay out a roadmap, if you like, which means that once we've got that roadmap, we can then obviously take the massive action that's required to achieve the results and have the sensory acuity to know if we're on track, whilst bringing the behavioural flexibility and adapting, and the physiology and psychology of excellence, because we've got the plan there already. So now we look after ourselves as we go through the plan. And one of the things we do in Thailand is, when we're looking at the planning, the business plans that we produce there, which you will come back with, finished, done, ready to run with, when we look at those plans, one of the things we will do whilst we're there is challenge them and ensure that they are ecological for the business owners to implement and sustainable for them, because there's no point doing a business plan that's going to burn you out and or a business plan that's going to undersell you either. It's important to have something that does demand from you your physiology and psychology of excellence while supporting you on that journey.
That's right. And also, we're not building a business plan that some of you might know from the corporate world or from other exercises, where you have a nice little document and then you put it in a filing cabinet and come back to it maybe a year later or something. It's going to be a dynamic plan, and where the community of people that we're taking there and we're supporting are going to be holding each other accountable to see, are we on track to deliver the outcome that we want? Do we need to change something? And are we are we looking after ourselves? Do we need support in any area, which is part of the physiology of excellence? Absolutely.
And I think what you said too, Jürgen, around the psychology, was the idea that, identifying what's the main game on a day, and then what are the next 3 things that you could also do that'll move the needle. And then, what are the next 5 things that you could add on to your list for the day after finishing those ones you've already considered, and making sure all of those things line up so they're congruent with moving the needle in your business.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we do have a couple of spots left in that event if somebody would like to really get their business kick-started and build that plan and join that community. So I've placed the link there on the page where you can go and get some more information and contact us to find out more and apply to actually be part of that community and part of that event. Yes,
so jump in and join us if you're interested in coming along and making sure that the success you're after is yours.
That's right. And if you go to that page, and you'll see a link there which will actually take you to another page where we've got a bunch of different videos talking about all the different aspects of what the 5 business coaches who are running this event will be bringing to the table there, will be contributing to your success. And there's also a fun video at the end. So we had a fun afternoon filming all of those. And so if you sign up, you'll see a little fun video at the end of all 5 of us together.
Yeah, because fun is a big part of it as well. It has to be.
Exactly. Yes. That's right. And that's why we picked that location, right? Because it's part of the reason is it's a warm location for those of us that are going into winter in the Southern Hemisphere. But the other part, of course, is it's remote. It means we can focus on the planning aspect and on our business rather than having to deal with the day-to-day issues of the business. And also it's going to be a fun environment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Joanne. I think we've probably come to the end of today's Facebook 9 Live. So there will be another one tomorrow, and I think we might have 1 or 2 more to go, and a couple of additional sessions of valuable information, hopefully.
Yes. Yeah. So thanks for getting this organised, Jürgen. And I'll see you tomorrow anyway, won't I, at our meeting? So
yes, you will. Yes, we've got mastermind breakfast where some of us who are going to Thailand are actually already working on our plans and holding each other accountable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you then, and somebody will be on Facebook 9 Lives tomorrow speaking to our audience. So bye for now.
Bye. See ya.
Okay, we just got to find the end broadcast button.